Hi, Andy. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to be interviewing you right now. How are you doing today?
Very good. Thanks very much. Totally excited about the release. 3 weeks to go, and really looking forward to that. It was a hard work this album, but it made fun recording it. So we will see. Hopefully, the people will have as much fun as we had, by listening to it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I mean, Plague of Rats is a brilliant album from what I could hear. It's Brainstorm's new album. It will be released on the 28th of February. What can you reveal to your fans about that album?
About the album, I think they can expect a very modern kind of Brainstorm album. It features a lot of our traditional way of songwriting, but I think it sounds also very different in some ways. Very, yeah, yeah. I think the cool thing is after so many years, after so many albums, if you have a listen to this album, you will be able to recognize that this is a song from the Plague of Rats album within seconds. And that makes it very unique, that makes it very special, I think it's this album has its very special, his own kind of character, and that makes this album very outstanding for me. So and I love it. I love it that it comes out. As a normal jewel case, as a digipad. We have a DVD on it. We have a huge uh, how's it called? An earbook, they say. It's a very very oversized book. With special pictures in it and stuff. It's amazing artwork and stuff, and vinyl as well. And so that's for me as a collector. It's of course something great to collect my own stuff. So hey, but it's a great album. It's cool. It's absolutely amazing. We can't wait to play the songs live, of course.
Yeah, and I mean, the last time we talked, you told me that Walls Calls and Midnight Ghost were two albums that you couldn't stop listening to, unlike some of your older material. From what I can see, this Plague of Rats is also uh, you hooked up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I think especially with the beginning of the release of Midnight Ghost, I think this is kind of a new period, in our life, So I think also that the Brainstorm career, we had our times with Soul Temptation, Liquid Monster, and so on. Then we had our times with Memorial Roots and so on, always special times, and I think especially, but now the time with Midnight Ghost, Wall Skulls, and now Plague of Rats is this is kind of a different Brainstorm, but in the same mood, but also different, So very heavy, very very modern, and yes, we became older, but we became not older in the music. We became younger, fresher in the music, But yeah, age-wise, we became a little bit, maybe a little bit. What was it?
Yeah, but it's heavy, it's melodic. It's like it has everything that the German brand of heavy metal usually has, and all everything that made Brainstorm who they are. Now, also, Brainstorm usually have like a concept connecting on the songs in the albums. Is there anything similar in this Plague of Rats?
Not really, because I'm not a really big fan of a concept album. So we have different themes, we're talking or we're writing about, So it's on one way you have historical things like in Garuda or the Shepherd Girl and stuff, have Indian culture, Indian history. But on the other hand, you have with songs, they are really into modern stuff, This is of course always different, So and we always try to do something, yeah, unique, beyond enemy lines for something. For example, is really something modern, and that is to me that's very important to be very honest, to have always to make it as much as interesting as possible to the listeners, because if you're not into um, how can I say, into history. You do not have to listen to you do not have to say, oh God, now the next Brainstorm album is another history concept album, and I have to listen to any culture stories, whatever. So no, no, it's free, open-minded. I always take care about what when I hear a song for the first time, before I do start arranging the songs, I always think what kind of vibe does this song have, you know? So and then I do start writing the lyrics for it, and then I'm totally open-minded, you know. So for what will this song be all about, you know?
Yeah, and this album is once again connected to the Indian culture. I mean, songs like you mentioned, like Garuda and the Shepherd Girl. You know, this has also happened in the past in your album, Song Temptation, I think. Um, do you think like this
But
is
its
a return to
presentation
your
was
roots?
different. But in Soul Temptation it was a little bit different. It
Hmm.
was a little bit different because Soul Temptation that was also India. It was influenced by Indian history, but a fantasy story. That
Yeah, and
was
this time
the
it's real
difference.
real stories that actually happen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
This is now real. Garuda is something. If it was real or not, okay, but it's part of the Indian history. You know, they learned about him in school and stuff. Or the shepherd girl is something more or less like Romeo and Juliet. You know, from the Indian culture and stuff. You know, but a lot of people think that the Soul Temptation album was the first time we just wrote about or used Indian mythology, you know, or influences in our music. But that's not really true because on the first album, when I appeared for the first time on a Brainstorm album, was on Ambiguity with the Maharaja Palace. So, and that was the same thing here, you know. So I've listened to the song for the first time, and I don't know why. I had this feeling from the first second on. So, wow, this is a song that has to be about India and mythology and stuff. And then I started writing the lyrics for that. And this time, yeah, but I think it sounds good to us. It feels good, and it fits perfectly to our kind of music and style.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that I found really curious is that those songs, Garuda and the Shepherd Girl, also have some Oriental and Indian instruments and elements.
Yeah.
How were you inspired to do that? It was just after the writing of the lyrics, I suppose, right?
Yeah. It's I had I told Torsten, you know, when we started writing the songs that it's very important um, to be focused on two songs, for example. You know, it says that they have to have this message inside and stuff, but you cannot control it. You know, you cannot say, "Oh, now I feel it" or "Now I don't." It comes out, you know. So that is, but also that is the reason to help Torsten and Milan while they're writing the songs a little bit. I just created the cover a little bit earlier than normally. You know, normally when we're in the studio, I do receive the cover and then I show him. But more or less, most of the songs are written or maybe also already recorded. In this case, to get them an influence, to get them a special vibe, you know, I just called Gula, our cover designer, and told him to start with the work way up front, you know, before we go into the studio. And then I received the cover artwork before we started writing the songs. So I have this cover artwork in my on my desk, you know, for 2 years already. Yeah, and then I showed them and I said, "This is the new cover. Let's start writing the songs." And with this inspiration, you know, so then of course Torsten and Milan they just showed up with these two songs, and I was really happy about the situation then. That helped a little bit, of course.
Yeah, and it helped set the mood for the album as well, I bet.
Of course.
Yeah, and how was the composition process for the songs? Did you change anything from your previous albums?
Um, a little bit, maybe. Yeah. Let's. In the case of Midnight Ghost, for example, I received the songs for the first time. It's all. in the basically it's the same. It's always like Torsten Milan writing the songs, then I do get the first recordings, and then I should arrange or rearrange the songs, and then I start writing the vocal lines, and then I start writing the lyrics. That's these are the more or less 5 steps, let's say it this way. But in this case, um, I changed what I've changed a little bit is that I did not went back to the band to tell him what to rearrange, and then I did not started to work with Torsten again and again and again on every song. This time, I told him up front what I want. So I told him, okay, the song should sound like this, here, there, no bridge there, no this there, tune A, tune C, whatever, so low tune, down tune. And so we talked a lot about the songs before we started writing them. I think that was a main difference. The reason why I did this is that I wanted to keep them as, how can I say, as fresh as possible, not, so more um, up to what comes out of your body, what comes out of your blood, not too much head stuck, so not that
Mhm.
you're not thinking about too much, because sometimes I think some of our songs in the past, they are too like an architecture, so like here and there, and so it's like, and I just wanted to have the album very spontaneous and stuff, so that was very important to me, and I think that is maybe maybe that was the most important, but the biggest difference. Yeah, not
Yeah.
that much, but a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and it worked. And one of the most brilliant songs I think on this album is Garuda. Do you want to go a little bit through the process of creating that chorus? I mean, it's brilliant. I think it's one of your best choruses ever, in my opinion.
Thank you. Garuda is I think I've read a lot about this how can I say, this half human, half eagle, snake killing guy, whatever. And I looked at a lot of pictures of him, and I read a lot about him. And I started writing vocal lines with the word Garuda in it, with up notes and low notes and stuff. But I think what brings it really up, is something that what really happens to people if he comes down on earth, and he helps you or he kills you or whatever somebody else, and it's just like he crushes down on the floor. This is this Garuda, this extremely heavy stuff, and this is what I like so much, And so then I told Torsten, no, 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 this will be not a very melodic chorus type of chorus. This will be more something really heavy, straight in your face, And this is
Mhm.
why I've chosen this kind of a chorus, So I think it had to bring down the feeling and what this guy is all about. You've seen with a lot of muscles, or the claws and everything, and so it's a very dangerous kind of person, So, and to me, that was really important, and yeah, I think it works out.
Yeah, it does. I know that you are talking about. You're right. I mean, it's not a very melodic chorus per se, but the way it flows with the repetition of Garuda, and then the third time it's different. I think it's just a touch of brilliance, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're totally right. 100%. Yeah, thanks.
One other song that I really enjoyed this album is Masquerade Conspiracy. Do you want to go to the process of creating that one?
Masquerade Conspiracy is more an up-tempo song, and it's I think Masquerade Conspiracy was one of the first songs I wrote the lyrics for in a very early stage. Then we went back to rearrange some parts, and then I changed some parts of the lyrics again. But the lyrics itself are more or less a depiction of a dark or complex situation. This is It's a criticism of art of the society, yeah, Antigua, abuse of power and disinformation and stuff. As you can see, a very modern kind of song, very,
Yeah.
and this is the reason why I think this song had to sound different from a song like Garuda. Garuda, it features a lot of old traditional Brainstorm influences. Where it's more his, yeah. Also in our case, a Brainstorm history song, and a Masquerade Conspiracy is a very up-tempo speed song, with very modern influences. Not that many keyboards, for example,
Yeah.
synthesizers or stuff, it's a very straight to the point. And I think that's very important because this song is a very, yeah, yeah, really heavy song, and this is what heavy metal is all about. Straight in your face,
Mhm.
and with a clear message. You know exactly after seconds what this song is all about, and this is the reason why it was also really so much fun to record this song. After writing it, it was really so much fun to record it. Um, yeah, because so I like the vocal lines very much. It will be part of our live set. Yeah, both songs, Garuda, like we had, Masquerade Conspiracy. Masquerade Conspiracy was also for a very long time. It was uh, we were not sure. Will it be the opening track for the album, or will it be a video clip, and so on? So he was 1 out of 5. So what we had to do decide on four, and at the end, the record company decided on Crawling as the fourth single. But anyhow,
Yeah, and the Masquerade
It's-
Conspiracy is that magic. Is, it starts almost with a thrash metal riff, then has that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
beautiful melodic chorus that you are not expecting comes out of nowhere, and it's brilliant. I think.
yeah. That's right. Perfect, perfect.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned
Oh,
Crawling is I think is a very interesting song as well. Is that as that AOR melodic rock vibe. What inspired you to
yeah.
write that one?
In the first place, I hated Crawling, because it's a very bizarre, strange way of how do you say, the click was it's not so easy to find the right click in that moment. So it's one,
Mhm.
two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And I wasn't really able to find out when and where is the one, to start singing on it. And that was horrible to me. Then I called Torsten. I told him, I hate this fucking song. This song will be not on the album. I just fucking hate it because it's not cool. It's got nothing, And then he said, "No, no, no, you don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm thinking about. So what I want to express with this song." And I said, "Yeah, then write something different, but not this one." And Crawling was really something. Um, he just changed a few things, but not the one I was angry about, you know. And then I stood in the studio, and then I had everything ready, but I wasn't sure about the part, the vocal at the start, but the start with the vocals and stuff. And I looked at Sape and told him I just fucking hate this song, this part, and everything else. And then we worked with, I don't know, whatever, with totally different sound points, to get me an idea where to start and when to sing and so on, and that helped me a lot. But it took a few hours, maybe. It took a few hours. Then I was to understand where I am. Now it's quite easy. Now I say, what the hell? Where was the problem? But at that moment, my head was fully not. It wasn't possible to even think about it. So it was really heavy. But was what I like very much in this song is people will probably hate me for that, but I love the second verse of the song with this falling out at the end every time. You know, that was a gimmick in
Yeah.
the studio. It
Mhm.
was it was fun. We just made it out of fun. So and we said we've listened to the vocal lines after the first recording, and then I sat there and said, "Oh, falling out, I'm falling out, falling out." Always like because I was just fucking happy that I recorded it, and I said, "Yeah, it's okay." And there's one very cool thing at the end. We then took the falling out and took it on all the endings, and I said, "Wow, that is so cringe. That is killer. You know, that sounds killer." But then I've had another mood for the song again. You know, I started to sing the song in a very more dark way. You know, because it's the meaning is also not so friendly. You know, but then I said with this falling out and the feeling this gives you, you know, I have to sing it again. And then I went back to the studio and started singing the song again, you know, because then I had another feeling with this falling out, falling out, you know, that was different. And then I came out and he looked at me and said, okay, it's now a totally different different kind of song. It sounds more like you said, 80s, you know,
Yeah.
but I said, who fucking cares? You know, it's just fun. It's music, you know, at the end. And that made it really much fun. And I love the falling out at the end. And I told the others because this song is part of the live set as well. And I told the others, you have to sing falling out every time. Whenever, you know, every time falling out, you have to do it. If you're not, this song will be out. But you have to sing falling out. Yeah, it's but Torsten told in the first place he called me and said, "Okay, next song you will receive is our '80s metal track," and I said, "Okay, so let's see what it is," and this is what came out.
Yeah, and it's a different vibe from the rest of the album, and it kind of breaks it a little bit. It's near the end, the 10th or 11th or ninth song, something like that, right?
Yeah. Before curtain falls. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But I think um, there are some other songs on the album. They're not too far away. You know, I think songs
Mhm.
like you have "Your Soul That Lingers in Me" or
Yeah.
"Dark of Night," for example, are not too far away. They're also very melodic and stuff. That's also cool.
Yeah, and some versions of the album also include Rick Springfield's cover of "Celebrate Youth." Why did you decide
Yeah.
to cover the song?
Uh, we thought about why not having a cover track on the album. Um, then I just thought, okay, why not? And the band asked me because they have no idea. They always have no idea about something like this, you know. So I have to decide. I have to say what song, and then I do arrange the song and uh, celebrate youth. I think the lyrics are really cool and are again after so many years. I think the song is about 40 years old or so. Um, I think the meaning of the song is way more important than it was over the last couple of 20 or 30 years. I think it's really important again, you know, to celebrate youth. And it's a song I always grew up with metal, you know, but to be very honest, on the other hand, I also, of course, listened to some pop or rock songs, you know, so you have to, you know. But the song "Celebrate Youth" is a song that I just listened to 100, a thousand times, you know, and think I still like the original version very, very much. But
Mhm.
then I found out that nobody ever has really um, covered it, and so I was really like, okay, that is bizarre, and so why shouldn't we do it? And then I told the others, they were in the first place, they were really like, huh, it's that, and then I told them how I think this song should sound like, you know. So and then we started recording it, and we're all really happy with the version. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it
Absolutely.
turned out.
It will not be in the set list from the first place, but I'm pretty sure this song will make it into our set list after the release of the album, sometimes somehow in the summer or so on the festivals or so. Pretty
Yeah, and
sure
now
about
that
this.
Now that you talk about the set list and the summer festivals, you have a scheduled show in Milagre Toledo in Portugal next summer. What can the Portuguese fans expect from that show?
We have a fantastic show with us. I hope that we can bring it over. That is something I'm really looking forward to. You know, it's we've played so many times now in Lisbon, but it's for me really important that we finally take the step out of Lisbon, you know, because
Yeah,
Portugal is such an amazing country, you know. So I've been there several times and I love it absolutely. And I always think that it's not just Portugal is not just one city, you know, there's more, there's way, way more, you know. So, but it's the same with other countries, like for example Switzerland. You always play in Pratteln, you know, near Basel. That's it. But hey, come on, there's so many cities. In Portugal, you have so many amazing, beautiful cities, you know. So with so many fantastic fans, because every time we go and play in Portugal, there are fans from Porto or wherever you know they're coming from. You know, so now I always think why we're just playing just here, you know, we can play over there. I like what I like very much on the Portuguese or the Spanish fans as well, you know,
mhm,
is the energy you get from them. You know, it's
yeah,
from the first. In some countries, it takes a while. You know, some people they give you energy, but after a while you feel okay, it's getting more and more and more. And after the third or fourth songs, you're on a level of 100%, for example. But in the case of Portugal or Spain, so I think it takes only a few seconds. Yeah, to be very honest, only a few seconds, and boom, there you go. You know, there you are. You know, so that you have this level for the next 45 or 1.5 hours. You know, so
mm.
that's great. Really looking forward to that. Really.
Yeah, and so am I. I'll probably be on that show as well, and it will be great to see you live. What about your other touring plans? You know, besides the this festival season, what are you planning?
We're going on tour in also on one day before the album's going to be released. Then we're going on tour but this is just the release tour, so we say, you know, so
Mhm.
to for the album release, and this is going to be very funny, of course, because on the same day, um, the guys of Arian, a band from Finland, you know, they also will release their album on the same day. So this is going to be a co-headlining thing, you know, and so we're having about, let's say, I think about 10 shows or so, 1.5 weeks. And then we have first festivals coming up real soon, but maybe there will be another big tour in the spring. So European wide. We're talking about this really right now. It's a little bit difficult this time because the album is going to be released in February, end of February, and um, after the old album, the Wall of Skulls album is more than 3.5 years old now.
Mhm.
A lot of booking agencies say, okay, let's wait and see what will happen to Brainstorm. And then they start booking us. We have a lot of offers, but we have not confirmed all of them. You know, we have around 16 or 70 shows, something like that. But I'm pretty sure there will be another 30 or 40 coming up. That's always, you know, in the first place, you think like, oh, okay, so much free time this year. And then second look and you say, oh, okay, no free time anymore. That's good.
Yeah, and it would be great to have you here in Portugal as well. Not only in Lisbon, maybe Porto too. You know, if the chance
Yeah, of
comes, don't waste it. It would be great to have you here.
course, of course, of course, would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, you just mentioned you also mentioned the set list. How hard is it for you to balance your new tracks with the more classic anthems in the set list?
That is always a big discussion inside the band. Yeah, setlist is always difficult, you know, but we have to play the classics. All those words, Shiva's Tears, High Without Lows. Uh, we can't play a show without these songs, you know, but you also have now classics from Wall of Skulls or Midnight Ghost as well, you know. So uh, on the other hand, you know, there were times in the past when we just played two songs from our new album. but that's not good, you know. So if you do release an album, you should be able to play all the songs live, and you should love to, you should want to play those songs live. And so we decided always minimum 4 new songs they have to be on our set list, 4 new ones, and then of course the highlights from the last albums, you know. So of course, but it's tough sometimes. Yeah, that's the reason why we're sometimes thinking about changing the set list every evening. But our light designer and our sound designer, they always kill us for that. You know, so they always say, no, we have to be focused here, we have to be focused there. But anyhow, it's cool. Anyway, we will see. But it's a tough decision, always. It is.
Yeah, I mean, you have a very long career as well. Now going back to Plague of Rats, what about your vocal performance? Did you try anything new in this album?
No, not really. I did it like I always did before. I struggled a little bit more. I think this those 2 years of Corona were not good for my voice. I guess for all the singers in the world, they just had problems with not singing so many shows and stuff. And since then, it's sometimes really tough to sing for a long time, you know. So but I don't know what it is. You know, I think it has something to do with the years of Corona, as I said. You know, but I haven't changed anything particular. So Alpha, it's like the same shit like always. This is
Yeah, you don't change a tactic when you're winning. So
yeah. You better do not.
yeah, and besides you, you also have two guests singing on the album. They are Elina Cirala and Alexander Krull from Lives Eyes. You can say that the experience from Wall of Skulls really worked out. You are repeating it now, so
Yeah, but in the in the case of Wall of Skulls, we had 2 power metal singers on it. You know,
yeah.
with Sabe and Peavy. You know, Sabe as a good friend, Peavy as an old friend, and a metal icon. You know, so but this time I wanted to have something special. I wanted to have a female voice, but a female voice that doesn't, but she had to sing in a way she's not so singing normally. You know, that was really very important to me. So, and this is what Elena did. She has a fantastic voice. She's a perfect singer. And, but I asked her to sing a little bit different than she normally does on her Leaves Eyes albums. I think in the first place, she was not so happy, but she did an amazing job. And at the end, she likes it. That's the most important thing. And amazing person, you know, amazing vocals. Everything's perfect to me. I think it was not clear from the first second on that we will have guest vocals again on the album. But it was something that I decided while I was in the studio, and then I said, yeah, having female vocals on here again would be cool. And then I asked myself, what else do you want? But I was sure 100% not to have another power metal singer on here. You know, so and then again, you know, you look over the seas, you know, you look over to America, you look over to Sweden, and then you say, who can do it? Who will sound cool here or there? At the end, I decided not to ask somebody else. I decided to ask someone I know since about 35 years. You know, so we spent our childhood more or less in the same metal club in the Rockfabrik Ludwigsburg. You know, where we grew up together. And then Alex started his career with Atrocity, and then I called him to do our special German Swabian Southern Germany thing, you know. So this is how I call it. And he asked me, "Do you want me to sing?" And I said, "Of course not." And he was really like, "Why not?" And I said, "I know you now for 35 years. I we became friends when began when he was growling just in atrocity, and I said to him, "No, I have a song here. It's called From Hell. I think it sounds and it fits perfectly to your voice, but you have to grow. I have wanted to have if we have guest vocals on the album, I wanted to make the album special, you know, to make these two songs very special, and not another metal or power metal singer, you know, who sings more or less the same like I do. You know, I wanted to have a different kind of uh, vocal experience on the album. And I think, and that makes the album to me even more special, to be very honest.
I think that was the first track with the first ever track with growls in Brainstorm, right?
Yeah, and that makes it even more special to me. I think that was uh, important. That was really important to me that the album does not sound like any other of our albums before. I
Yeah.
think the most of the guys in the band, you know, were really um, how can I say surprised because I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew anything about it, you know, so that was really cool, you know. So I just decided this, then I invited the people, then I just gave them the songs and see that did the mixing, and they were really surprised about that. So who's that? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Good. Sometimes I do decide things. Yeah, this is what I do.
Yeah, and this is also your first album through Raining Phoenix Music. How did you establish that partnership?
There's a lot of people from our old record company, from AFM Records. They switched over to Raining Phoenix, and we decided to leave AFM Records because of their philosophy for the next years. They're just focused on only digital releases, you know, and then but we have a lot of fans. They are really into having a vinyl, having a CD, having a DVD or digipack in your hands, you know. So, and I personally like it very much as well. And so it was quite easy to talk to them to say, hey, this is not the way we want to go. This is not the way our fans want to go. And then we had contact with a lot of people from formerly AFM Records, and they just asked us if we want to join them. And so it was a quite easy decision, you know, because their office and their warehouse is not too far away from here. You know, they all have it, let's say it's about 40 kilometers or something like that away from here. So, which is very close to us instead of other record companies we already had. Um, and it's good. It's cool. It's I think they could do a little bit more promotion than here and there, but it's that's always with my own eyes, you know. So of course, you know, so I do see it always a little bit different, you know, because you think, okay, now the way the world has to turn around you and your release, but there are other releases as well. So let's see what will happen. But in the first place, we're really satisfied. And the most important thing is that the album will be released, the album will be promoted very well, and then we are able to go on tour again. That's the most important thing at the end.
Yeah, that's what really matters. Well, Andy, thank you so much. I think that's it. It was an honor. Would you like to send any message to your Portuguese fans?
Yeah, thank you so much to all your support over all the last couple of years. We know many of you, but we want to learn more about you and your country, and we want to know all your friends and whatever, you know. So please bring them to one of our next shows. We'll see us in Portugal. Enjoy Plague of Rats and have fun with the music, have fun with the videos, have fun with the album, and hope to see you really soon. And thank you so much for your support again. All the
Yeah.
best.